guy on Saturday night with a bag believed to have tools in it, an angle grinder, in open space, cutting in and grinding out Irish language from the sign, Ron. What's your reaction to that?
I think it's probably the most predictable crime in Northern Ireland. We've been warning about the imposition and the provocation of the Irish language going into Unionist areas for years now, and the unrelenting approach from Irish language enthusiasts would tell you that they don't care. They're just prepared to steamroller everybody in their path.
You would condemn it, though, wouldn't you?
I would condemn the crime, and what I would say to anybody who's thinking about it, you can end up with a criminal record here. You can lose your job. You can be fined. You can go to jail. So I would discourage anybody who's thinking about damaging any of these signs.
Why do you say it's predictable? Why is criminality predictable?
Because of the unreasonable approach from Irish language enthusiasts. So the Belfast City Council went to the residents of Shandon Park and asked them outright, do you want dual language street signage? They put a poll onto the people that live in the street. The people on the street resoundingly said no. We don't want an Irish language sign on the street. And Belfast City Council, Irish language enthusiasts, forced through by the Green Party, believe it or not, who had the sway and vote, said, well, irrespective of your opinion, you're going to be getting it anyway. And that causes real bad feeling, damaging for good relations and the community at large. An unreasonable approach by the Irish language enthusiasts again. So Unionism has been offering an olive branch towards the Irish language for a long time now. We didn't oppose any of the Irish street signs in the Gaeltacht quarter in West Belfast because we knew that predominantly Irish enthusiasts. So to then use those figures against it is an act of bad faith. It's an act of bad faith. Now, we're not going to have selective criticism either. I mean, we've been looking at the damage to streets, road signs for many years when we see Londonderry consistently attacked on every street sign from Toonbridge to Newry. We also see the Welcome to Northern Ireland sign riddled with bullet holes. So we're not going to have two tiers of this. Unionism has acted in good faith up until this point, and to use those figures against us is...
Well, you're suggesting you're not going to act in good faith beyond this point? What's up until this point mean?
Well, I think we crossed the Rubicon last month with the Irish language policy per se in Belfast City Council when we initiated the call-in process to that. So what we're asking from Irish language enthusiasts is a reasonable approach. Come and speak to us. We've been reasonable so far, but this is not a reasonable approach.
The conversation happened, then there was a vote, and it was the democratic will of Belfast City Council to roll out the street signs as they've described. What part of democracy don't you get?
What part of democracy don't you get? So in Shandon Park, 16% of the people voted in favour of Irish language street signs. What part of democracy do I not understand in that statement? I think that's as clear as a bell to me. Now, even in the street itself, there was over a 70% return to the questionnaire, to the poll that went out from Belfast City Council. That's higher than you get for elections in Northern Ireland, which shows you that people are motivated by that. So there was approximately 70% of a return, which is more than what votes at elections. So people are motivated by this.
Can I ask you this, Ron? Alison Morris from the Belfast Telegraph is reporting that she has been told by loyalist sources that they intend to vandalise more street signs where they deem the Irish language on them is not welcome. Have you got any sense that will happen?
I don't think that it's merely loyalists that are doing that. I think that people are so motivated by this in their own street that you'll have normal people who will come out and put a bit of spray can over the Irish language.
Sorry, normal? What normal person defaces council property?
Listen, this has really agitated people in their communities. For me to come onto your show and say that I don't think that Irish language signs will be attacked again in the future, I would be lying. I do believe it.
But you're describing normal people. What normal person comes out and takes an angle grinder to a street sign?
They shouldn't do it, and they'll end up with a criminal record, and we're discouraging anybody who's considering it. But it is going to happen, Stephen.
Carl, do you want to respond to this?